welcome to another edition of That's My Sports Podcast. We're recording this right before the Arsenal and Liverpool game that's happening at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time. And right when I'm seeing the Arsenal Liverpool warm-ups, you see a bottle of Prime on the field. I didn't know Prime was advertised like that. I wouldn't want to drink it, but Aaron is also with me with the Borussia Dortmund background. Aaron, how are you doing?
Not too bad. And of course, this is how it happens. Dortmund wins last Sunday when we were on. They play Friday at 2:30. I watched the whole match. They should have had that goal in the first 45 minutes, and of course they tie. Of course.
Yep. And then Bayern Munich, as you mentioned, as we were talking on the pre-show, they won in their game yesterday. So you were able to catch that one. I was watching the Girona game yesterday.
I caught a little bit of it. Obviously, they just straight up dominated 3-1. Harry Kane scored his 24th goal in 20 matches for Bayern, so they are just pretty much on a roll.
Yeah.
And Leverkusen, they won, I believe, 2-0. So
yeah, I was watching that game actually. I don't know why I said Girona, but I was watching that game instead. They were going on at the same time.
So they're the first team in a while to be undefeated in the first 20 matches.
And I've been watching Leverkusen this whole time. I actually wasn't keeping track that they didn't even lose a game. That is amazing. And with the injuries they're going through right now, Victor Boniface, I believe he's out until April. They are still winning games. Tella scored 2 goals yesterday, playing the right wing back position. Leverkusen is looking amazing. I hope they do finish first place because I really believe Xabi Alonso, this will be his last year managing Leverkusen before he goes off to Liverpool. But yeah, so we got a lot of Cinderella stories going on. I did mention Girona La Liga. They drew against Real Sociedad yesterday, 0-0. But that's not the biggest news in La Liga, is it, Aaron?
No, this literally broke yesterday, so I'm kind of glad we did our show today instead of yesterday, so I got it right here. The biggest name in soccer right here, right now, Mr. Kylian Mbappe is going to Real Madrid. How do you feel about that? Does that make them like just this heavy powerhouse? From what I was reading, I guess he grew up watching, obviously Cristiano Ronaldo and Zinedine Zidane.
All French players love Real Madrid, so it's kind of like, yeah, it was like more inevitable. When you see top French player, you think, oh yeah, Real Madrid. That's usually how it is because Zinedine Zidane, French legend, played for Real Madrid. So all young French players always play for Real Madrid. Always want to play for Real Madrid. Guy Karim Benzema, when he was in Lyon when he was young, he wanted to go to Real Madrid. What happened? He went to Real Madrid. Now Kylian Mbappe, what happens? He goes to Real Madrid. Tchouaméni, he wanted to go to Real Madrid. He went to Real Madrid. Camavinga, French as well, wanted to go to Real Madrid. He went to Real Madrid. All young French players love going to Real Madrid. It's common. So when we saw Kylian Mbappe from years ago, he wanted to go to Real Madrid. Oh, shocker. Guess what? He's going to go to Real Madrid.
Now, is this wise for him? I saw that PSG was trying to give him 72 mil, but I guess for some reason they couldn't do it. I don't know why, but they're pretty much like, they wouldn't be able to give him the money. Is it because they don't have enough money, or they just...
Okay, it's never the first issue. PSG never I know that's a double negative, but they never do not have enough money. They always have enough money. They're called Money Bags PSG. The owner owns an oil company. They always have enough money. It probably is financial fair play rules, which usually never really hurts the top teams. But maybe it was because no matter how much money they could offer Kylian Mbappe, he wasn't coming back. He wanted to go to Real Madrid.
Now, how lethal does this become once he obviously ends with PSG and joins over Real Madrid? Are they just going to take over the La Liga? Because right now they're 18-3-1 and leading the top with 57 points over Girona, which you just talked about. So, does this automatically make them just title contenders, just dunzo for the whole league?
I honestly believe so, and I think I hate it for the game. I hate it for the game of football or soccer, whichever you want to go by in Spain, because you look at Girona. Girona's a Cinderella story. We all know next year that whole team is going to get gutted. There's going to be bigger clubs offering tons of money for their top players. Michel, the manager, who knows? He could stay for Girona for another year, but he could also go to a bigger club as well. So usually, like these Cinderella teams don't last back-to-back years because if they're usually overachieving, that means their players will be sold. And I believe they also have a considerable amount of players on loan, so they could go back to their parent clubs. So Girona is most likely not going to be as good next year. Barcelona is having a financial crisis. Um, we already know Xavi is leaving, and Xavi is leaving doesn't mean they have the money to pay for the sexy hot manager. They don't have enough. Who knows they don't have enough money to pay for your Jurgen Klopp or for Thomas Tuchel. We don't know if they have enough money for that because they're really short on money. They're already still paying Xavi, and yeah, so that they only spend like what 3 million in the transfer window this previous summer. So like who knows how much money they could spend for next year. They might have to sell some players. Lewandowski, Rafinha, those are two examples. And Atletico Madrid, I mean, Atletico Madrid's Atletico Madrid. They could be in the top four, but unless they get another similarly big name talent themselves, I can't see them competing with that firepower of Real Madrid at all. Like if you look at it, you got Vinicius Jr., Kylian Mbappe, Rodrigo in that attack. You also have Endrick coming as well. This is a top Brazilian name. Then you got Jude Bellingham. That attack is crazy. It's wild. I
That's
can't.
unbelievable.
This might be a PSG or Bayern Munich type domination for La Liga if other things don't happen.
So this is like the equivalent of the '07 Patriots.
Yeah,
Just
but but good. Thankfully, there's no playoff system, and for Spain, so like whoever has the most points just have the most points, and they win the championship. So, yeah,
that's
maybe
still
they should incorporate that for the NFL, so the Patriots should win. Yeah.
Ay. Well, let's talk about real quick with this one because I'm definitely gonna be watching when we get off this stream. In the Premier League, we got Arsenal versus Liverpool. So how big is this match at 11:30? Because it's gonna be a short show, so obviously this must be a good one.
Yeah, of course it has title implications. Arsenal hasn't been in the greatest of form, but they are 5 points behind Liverpool with and with Manchester City being number two with a game in hand. So if they beat Liverpool, they'll be within 2 points and they can be back in the title hunt. But if they lose, they descend further and they can go as low as fifth place to Tottenham, to rivals Tottenham. So they need to win. They need to win. Well, I'm saying they won't go fifth place, but they could just be sent back where they'll be in line with Aston Villa and Tottenham. So they need to win, or they need to at very least draw. And if Liverpool wins, Liverpool can. I'm not saying to have a stranglehold, but at least have considerable leverage over Manchester City.
Interesting. Well, I got it up right here. So this will be the lineups for today for the Arsenal Liverpool. So it looks like both playing a 4-3-3. And then here we go for goalkeepers, and then so on and so on. So
I was about to say I was waiting for you to do the pronunciations. I was waiting.
Jesus. Well, I could try. So David Raya.
You got it. You got it.
Bingo. Right. I'm like 1 for 100 on these football special shows.
David Raya, but I mean they say David in English, so
yeah. So there you go. Allison Becker or Allison Becker.
No, you said it the first time, Allison Becker.
Oh, okay. I saw Brazil, so I didn't know if they were gonna put a little like twist on it or something. But yeah, this is pretty much it for right here. who's going to be playing in like 15 minutes. I could definitely stream it on Peacock, but I'll probably start at like 11:40, right? Like they always give like those 10 minutes
Yeah,
before.
usually give a grace period. So wait, is it exclusively on Peacock? It's not on TV?
I'm not sure. It says Peacock
No,
right here.
I mean you might be right. Okay, well I guess I gotta switch to Peacock then. Well, thank you for letting me know.
Bam. See, this is why we play the shows here. But right here we got head to heads. So it looks like Liverpool's taking over the total wins. Look at that. I didn't realize that. 25-17.
Yeah, well, Liverpool has been. I will say they've been a lot better for longer than Arsenal has. Of course, Arsenal has the Invincibles, but I think Liverpool has been more consistent throughout the years. So maybe that's why.
I mean, it looks like it is pretty much goes, was it like 2-1-2? It looks like for Liverpool. The last
Yeah,
like 5 matches.
yeah, it hasn't been looking great for Arsenal. So this is a chance for us to change the tides. This is supposed to be the title contending season after coming up extremely short last season. So let's hope for Arsenal. For those that don't know already, I am a Gunner fan. I'm an Arsenal fan, so I do personally do. I want Arsenal to win. So we need to do good. We need to do good. I should have the Arsenal logo in the background, like how Aaron has Borussia Dortmund in the background, but don't got the green screen ready or anything.
Yeah, that's all right. Next episode, we got a lot coming. So, but
Yeah. So
I from what it looks like right here, I might say this is going to be a tie. It just kind of feels like a tie game.
it yeah, it seems like it could be a draw. I think that is the minimum Arsenal needs to have, but Arsenal, if they really want to make a statement to challenge for the Premier League title, they need to come with a win. They couldn't really address their striker situation this January window. It's kind of hard to pay for a big name striker. So let's see how they can muster on for the rest of the season. But if not, they do need to get a big name striker. I feel like they have to do it.
Now, who do you have in mind for that?
Victor Osimhen, of course, is like the number one priority, but just given off Arsenal's transfer behavior, I just don't think Victor Osimhen is likely. So we could just see a Ivan Tony, come to Arsenal. But hopefully a Victor Osimhen, which do want to give a shout out to the Africa Cup of Nations. Nigeria once again headed to the semifinals, headed to the semifinals. They beat Angola in the quarterfinals, so they're headed to the semifinals. And and what Facebook does is they show you like your past statuses from like the day of. So yesterday I was celebrating Nigeria February 3rd, 2013 for going to the semifinals in the Africa Cup of Nations. So again, celebrating Nigeria going to the semifinals in the Africa Cup of Nations, 11 years to the day.
That's kind of crazy, to be honest. I saw that yesterday when you shared it. I was like, oh dang.
Yeah, crazy, crazy. You know what's funny? Because the last Africa Cup of Nations, Nigeria didn't even qualify. So the fact that 11 years to the day they go back to the Africa Cup of Nations semifinals is crazy.
Sheesh. Now, how important is that? I have no idea, so you might have to inform me on that.
So if you know about like the UEFA European Championship, so like each continent has their own. It's like the World Cup but smaller. Each continent has their own tournament.
Oh,
So
okay.
so for here it is UEFA European Championship. I'll say North America. Well, North America is kind of combined with Central America, so they got their CONCACAF, and Asia, they has theirs as well. I forgot the exact name for it, but they have theirs as well. So, and of course, Africa got the AFCON, or for short, but also known as the Africa Cup of Nations. So it's basically bragging rights for about 4 years. I believe it's 4 years. So it's about bragging rights for that. So you got bragging rights for those 4 years being the best African country. Back then in 2013, Nigeria won it. Then Nigeria didn't qualify for the next one, And I don't know. I think we're the favorites to win it again because we got the best player in Africa right now. Well, outside of Mohamed Salah, is Victor Osimhen. And then if you look at that, look at the how good Ademola Lookman is playing. He's been playing good for Serie A, and now he's been playing carrying that form to Nigeria. You also got Samuel Chukwueze on the bench, and you got Tara Murphy as well. Like we have a lot in the attack, so it's looking great for us. It's looking great for us, and to show we are the
Interesting.
best country that Africa has to offer. Who doesn't want those bragging rights? Like just to
I
show we're the
don't
best
know.
country.
Nah, especially in Africa. That's pretty dope, though. I didn't even know about that.
Yeah, so usually Mohamed Salah, I believe he's still playing, but usually when that happens, the African players from like the domestic teams from the European teams are not playing for their European teams; they're playing for their country. So I think usually in this instance, I'm not even sure if Egypt even qualified. So like usually like a Mohamed Salah won't even play for Liverpool during this time. He'll be playing for Egypt, or Sadio Mane would he be playing for back then Liverpool. I was playing for a Saudi Arabian team. He'll be playing for Senegal. So it's usually during that time, like some European teams are handicapped, especially if the African players are one of the best players on their team. It kind of affects them for that period.
So how does that work? Because I know in like the World Cups or if it comes to like hockey and stuff like that, like the commissioner can be like, no, you can't go. 'Cause I think in hockey they tried to do that a few years ago. They're trying to make like a World Cup, and Alexander Ovechkin wanted to go over to play for Team Russia, and he was like, no, no one from the pros is going over. So does anybody care
It's
on like
usually it's
the
usually
football
to the
side?
team. It's usually to the team. So like the
Oh,
club.
okay.
So like the club can say no, you can't go. But sometimes for something as prestigious as this, is like you can say that, but that just won't make the player happy if he can't go. If it's some like smaller competition, then usually like a club will say like no, you can't go, and the player will like listen, like okay, it's not the big competition. But African Cup of Nations is very strict. It's very prestigious, but I think there has been some instances where a club was saying like, "No, you can't go and leave for this time." But usually, more often than not, they do leave because African Cup of Nations is a very prestigious tournament because you're playing for your country to be champion of the continent. So that's usually
Oh,
very prestigious.
oh, okay, interesting. Did not know that. I might have to check that out. Where is there anywhere I can watch that, or
It's
is it kind
on
of like a stream thing?
it's on BN Sports. So
Yeah.
that's a difficult thing because it's like I don't really have BN Sports on my TV package, so it's kind of hard to watch it. Gonna try to watch the semifinals and the finals, but like yeah, it's been hard to watch it because I don't have BN Sports, but it's on BN Sports if you have it.
I probably don't, so I'll try to find like a stream for it. But so you can't just walk into a regular bar in Atlanta and they won't have it on.
Maybe an African restaurant, because I'm sure I can't go to Buffalo Wild Wings and they'll be showing it or something. So like maybe if I go to an African restaurant, they'll be showing it.
They'll probably look at you crazy, like what?
Yeah, yeah, really.
Well, I put up the Premier League standings because it's actually pretty tight with the Liverpool Arsenal implications here, but also too Manchester City is going up against Brentford on Monday. So, do you think there's going to be a little bit of a shakeup in the standings, or
Manchester City should beat Brentford pretty easily. So honestly, you could just tack on 3 points to Manchester City, but this Premier League, anything could happen. But I think Manchester City should just do quick work with Brentford.
Okay? So, if that happens, and obviously you're picking Arsenal to win to get, so they're going to have 3 points.
I'm not really picking Arsenal to win. I want Arsenal to win. I
Oh,
feel
you
like it's.
want Arsenal to win?
I'm just saying that like if they win, that's gonna be big for them because it stops Liverpool in its tracks and it moves Arsenal up. But I say the best thing that I said the worst thing they can do is lose. So at minimum, they just need to draw at minimum.
Oh, okay. Well, I actually saw on FanDuel because I dip into that. So they actually have an Arsenal versus Liverpool like little parlay. So I didn't do it because I wasn't sure how it would roll, and you could win like $300 if this happens. So Liverpool team to have 5 or more shots on target, Arsenal team to have 6 or more shots on target, and then home total corners 6.5, and over 4.5 corners if you are away. So would you think that would happen in this match, or you just wasting money on that bet?
I don't want to. This ain't a betting podcast, as I don't want you all cussing me out if you lose money off my behalf. So I ain't going to say anything.
So
Now, if
pretty
you
much
want
what
to,
he's saying, folks, is that don't do it.
or don't blame me for it. That's all I'm
Yeah.
saying. Don't blame me for it. I've been told before that like I've helped people win their bets, like when we did the NFL podcast and everything, but I was better off not being told to like, yeah, I think that's fine. Like if you want to tell me afterwards, but I wasn't doing this for your bets. I was just doing this to give my analysis, my predictions. So hey, if you want to take my word as the gospel, be my guest, but I ain't gonna lead you wrong. Like that ain't my fault if you lose money. If I tell you to do something, if I say what's gonna happen, it doesn't happen. It ain't my fault you lose money. So hey, I'm not here giving you betting advice, parlays. I don't even play it, so don't blame me for that. And I ain't gonna give any predictions for any of it. Not on this
Yeah,
one.
I wanted to start getting into that, but I'm like, soccer's so unpredictable. Like, I
you
feel like
you
it's more
you
unpredictable than
see
basketball.
you see how these fans cuts out these athletes, and I assume these betting analysts and hosts. I don't want to get into that, not at all. Nope, not me. I want to get death threats my way if you lose $1,500 or something. Nope, do not want to be involved in that.
All right, I figured I had to ask on that because I saw it earlier yesterday, and I was like, I don't know if I want to place this. This looks an all right bet, but I really don't know. So
uh
I'm kind of glad I didn't.
if you have money that you don't mind losing, then go ahead, do it.
Oh,
if
absolutely not.
if
I am
Exactly.
trying to win money.
Then don't do it. Then don't do it. If you feel like you're gonna be affected if you lose the money, then don't do it. That's why I have to say generally about for anyone who gambles. Like me, I don't feel good about losing money, so I don't want to do it. I've done some gambling before, not with sports, more with the stock market, and that didn't really work out too well. So after that, it kind of told me like, you know what? I don't want to do gambling, even if I feel like I'll be good at it. I feel like I'll be good at basketball, but I don't want to do it. I don't want to do
Yeah,
it.
so kind of just to go off topical just a little bit. So I might have to retire from betting on FanDuel because I'm always like one player short. So yesterday, anyone that's watched this in the replay or live, go check out yesterday's basketball episode that me and Hollywood Ray did. So I pretty much gave LeBron James a compliment on what he put on Twitter about Joel Embiid, right? So there was a parlay for the Knicks Lakers, and I pretty much got every single one except for one player. And that player was LeBron James. He needed to give me 7.5 assists, and he gave me 5. And
And
I
guess what
literally
he
much lost
said?
out $130 because of LeBron James. So now I am not giving him a compliment
And
ever
guess what
again.
he said? Screw you. That's what he said. Screw you. Because you've been on your skip day list with LeBron James this whole time, talking nothing but trash to him. So just like, you know what? I ain't gonna earn you money. He doesn't know who you are, but he had a sixth sense. It's like, wait, I'm gonna earn some hater his money. So let me not do that.
I needed that though. I needed that 130, but but I kind of want to talk about this last talk before we go because the match is about to start. So I don't know if you saw, but Inter Miami went up against I'm definitely gonna pronounce this wrong, but it's the
I,
Saudi league, El Nasser, and it was Messi against
not too bad.
Ronaldo, and
Not too
and
bad.
obviously they both didn't play. They
Yeah,
were they
I
were
knew
there.
Messi. I knew Messi didn't play. I wasn't sure if Ronaldo didn't play. Like I heard about it, but I didn't actually watch it. Then
Oh,
again, I
I
don't
didn't
know
watch it.
where you can even watch it.
Yeah, I don't even know. They were at Kingdom Arena, so wherever that is.
I think
But
it
yeah,
was in Saudi Arabia. I
was it?
believe
Oh
it.
yeah,
I
because
think they were playing.
I think Cristiano Ronaldo was sitting in like the club seats or something like that because he
Is he
was.
hurt? Was he hurt or something? Or you're just like, nah, screw it. I'm not even gonna play. I'm just gonna be chilling.
I don't think he was hurt.
If
I think he
Messi ain't
was.
gonna play, I'm not gonna play.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they both kind of acknowledge each other, but does it prove that the Saudi league's better than the MLS because they won 6-0 on Inter Miami? But
Well,
but
we
people
just
were trying to say that with my Inter Miami that Messi, whereas the Al Nassr, hopefully I'm saying this right, in the Saudi league, they don't really need Ronaldo because they're just
Not at
that
all.
good.
Yeah, not at all. Because they got Sadio Mane, which I'm not even sure who's playing either. Because he's in the Africa Cup. I think he's in the Africa Cup nation, but I think Senegal was he. I like I say I don't know. The Senegal probably was even eliminated. But the Saudi Al Nassr doesn't need Cristiano Ronaldo because they also paid big money to other players from big European clubs. Whereas in Miami, the really one big name that they have is Lionel Messi. So they're dependent on one player. Saudi Arabia, they already paid loads of money to other players not named Cristiano Ronaldo on their team. That's what Saudi Arabia teams do. They just pay a bunch of money to players and try to get them to come to Saudi Arabia and leave the European club. So honestly, I felt Saudi Arabian League probably was better than MLS already, just because all the big name players they have there, like to start off with. Usually, the MLS is the retirement league or the league where young South American players go to make a name for themselves before they go to Europe. Case in point, Thiago Almada, who is from my very own club, Atlanta United. So, I don't think that was too much of a debate. Saudi Arabian teams are better than American teams. MLS teams. American teams in general, too, because they're probably better than Mexican teams as well.
Interesting. Well, before we close it out, just want to put to everyone out here for the upcoming matches coming this week. So in the Bundesliga league, the only one that's really important is Leverkusen versus Bayern. That's at 12:30 on Saturday. So definitely going to be tuning into that one. In La Liga, I'm just pulling up here right now. Maybe Real Madrid versus Girona. I don't know if that's a big one.
But that's a big one. That's a big one. And I'm pulling for the underdog, Girona. Come on, you got to finish this. You got to win the cup.
Well, it's also at 12:30 on Saturday, so I don't know. You might have to split screen that if you want to watch both. Just trying to see anything else in the La Liga.
I
don't really see
on the
anything.
Laptop, one on the TV.
Yeah, you're gonna have to for that. I think that's kind of really it for big ones. If I'm wrong, you guys can attack me in the chat, but just looking in the English Premier League, don't really see anything too great unless I don't know. I mean, Arsenal's going up against West Ham on Sunday.
We also got to start talking about Serie A. I feel like we'd be leaving the Italian league short.
Let me know on that. Just listen, you guys send me texts, and I'll definitely check that stuff out.
I need to start watching Serie A myself because it's like Paramount Plus is like the forgotten child when I'm looking through apps to watch soccer games. I always forget, let me check out Paramount Plus for Serie A, because when I think of Paramount Plus, I think of UEFA. And also because the app is very finicky. So it's just like I never think to go to that app. But yeah, we got to give Serie A some love too.
So you know what? We'll do that. We'll do that next week. We'll talk about the Italian league, get that going. Let's see. All right, so that's pretty much going to be it for today. Any final words before we go?
Not too much of final words, but I feel like we're going to have more news about Kylian Mbappe next week. The details of it. But yeah, this seems like a great great game of soccer next week. And also we got the Champions League coming up really soon as well. So we definitely will be covering that. And yeah, see you all next weekend.
Yep. So you heard it here, folks. Heard it here first. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow That's My Sports on YouTube. We're doing this pretty much establishing every Sunday. We're pretty much going to be doing the soccer shows on Sundays, it seems like, because all the important matches are on Saturdays. So make sure you tune in. Probably around 11 o'clock, we'll probably do it. If anything changes, we'll definitely let you know on the That's My Sports Twitter. But I'm Aaron Cass. This is Seyi Omanira, and you've seen the Seyi and Aaron Show. We'll see y'all next week. Peace.
Tie this game at 60.